Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another video from TW White & Sons. Here we have today a Mazda CX-3. Now, this is the GT Sport model, which was the rarer of all the models, and I'll run you through the spec as we go through the car. I just want to walk you around the car, show you the condition, and a little bit of background. We have a family that buy Mazdas from us, in fact a couple, and they run a CX-3, the CX-3, and a Mazda 2. They came towards the end of their PCP agreement, and instead of paying the balloon payment, they trade the cars in. So they've been long-standing customers of ours for the last, I've been here 11 years, and it was more than that because I've been here 11 years at the Orpington branch. So the cars always come back in lovely condition. This is in Meteor Grey, presented in Meteor Grey, and this has got the leather interior. So the CX-3 Sport had a leatherette interior. I'll show you this leather interior in a moment, but I just want to show you, I'm so happy, there is not even a mark on the alloys. The car's covered under 17,000 miles, and it's in absolutely lovely condition. Full service history with ourselves. I've always been looked after by ourselves, and yeah, it's outstanding condition wise. Now, before we go inside, let me open the boot. Now, CX-3s aren't known for their huge boots, but they're practical enough. Not for all, obviously. My benchmark is whether you can get a push chair in. I could get my son's push chair in there, but not a lot more. You can get some extra space by taking this out, okay, and then you lose the cavity floor, okay. And I'll show you something actually. Under here, you've also got the space if you required a spare wheel, but you've got the BOSE speaker. That's a subwoofer. Doesn't mean you're going to go down the road shaking people's windows or anything like that, but it just adds to the quality of the sound system, and it's a very nice balanced sound system. Now I'm going to make myself look silly by not getting this in as easy as it actually should be. There we go. Easy as that. I should have practiced that before filming. You've got a 60-40 split rear seat. They have ISOFIX anchorages, which I'll show you. The parcel shelf pops out to give you more room. Now the car has rear parking sensors and a parking camera. Privacy glass at the back. So you've got this brown grey door card. I think that's lovely. I like it when they break up colours. You've got this leather seats, Napa leather, I believe it is, Napa leather seats. This suede insert. ISOFIX anchorages here. So yeah, all in really lovely condition. I just want to point out the customer always gets these, he sources these mats himself. And they're like these rubberized mats, which are more hard wearing than the Mazda ones. However, he still has, because this car, the GTs came with mats as standard, still got the original mats underneath. So that gives you an idea of the kind of the ownership of this car. You know, it's really cherished. It's one owner. Not that that has a huge bearing on things. There you go. Look, original mats underneath the rubber ones, which I must admit makes our life easier when the car comes back in part exchange. Right, so yeah, the car itself is really beautiful. I'd say 99% of the cars we take in part exchange, we have to refurb the alloys or do a bit of paintwork. This has really got nothing at all to do. Right, you've got keyless entry, so when the key's on your person, you can press that button, it'll recognise you've got the key and unlock the door. You've got electric windows, electric phone wing mirrors. Now, the GT has the brown seats, okay, they're leather, not leatherette. You've got memory seats, or memory seat, electric. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 way electric seat, and lumbar as well, okay. So that's something I kind of like an electric seat, and I like a memory seat, something I would miss on the more standard CX-3. Okay, so you've got this insert here, and also, actually, I do apologise, the GT had these garnishes on the side, on the back, on the front. So these, I don't know what you call them, like spoilers. I don't really like the name spoiler. It reminds me of something huge sticking off the back of a car. But these are nice, subtle dealer fit accessories. Well, they're not dealer fit, they came from the factory, but you could order these as an accessory. So this car's got like all the accessories available on this car. I believe the roof spoiler is also an extra from memory. Right, back in the car. Now, the car has 2 keys. I've got one with me today. Put the clutch down. Car recognises the keys in the car. Push the button and it fires into life. The heads-up display rises. You can set that to your own sort of preference, and you'll get your speed, basic nav functions, road speed limits, and other information. I think that's wonderful because look, instead of looking down, you look straight ahead. So, you know, a split second could make all the difference, you know, in case there was an emergency. Right, mileage is 16,945 miles. You got telescope up and down, just up and down, yeah, up and down on the steering column. Okay, you've got electric. You've got automatic wipers, lights, automatic wipers. All right. You got traction control. You've got lane departure warning. So if the car veers out of a lane without you signalling, the car will think you're not paying attention, and it will remind you by bleeping or a rumble. Tyre pressure monitoring. So if your tyre pressure's full 4 psi or more, it will warn you, so you can check your tyre pressures. And iStop's an intelligent engine start-stop system, which will switch off your engine when you're in traffic, which will save money. It's good for the environment, and use less fuel, obviously. Now, I mentioned the tyre pressure monitoring. Something that I want to point out is, I think it's great because if your tyre pressures fell 4 psi, it may not look flat or feel flat, but it will affect your fuel consumption, your braking, your cornering, so the safety of the car. And in case you're wondering about fuel consumption, this car's average 42.8 miles per gallon. Gentleman lives in the Dartford area, so, you know, not country lanes and whatnot, so that's a really respectable average MPG. Obviously it'll be longer on a long run. You've got electric seats, heated seats, heated seats, plural, heated steering wheel, climate control, it's ice cold, USBs for reading and charging, SD card for your sat nav, 12-volt socket for, I don't know, your pump kit, your pump, you know, a pump for pumping up air in your tyres. You've got a 6-speed gearbox, and it's a nice direct gear change. Definitely got the DNA off an MX-5 there. And you've got the multimedia commander, otherwise known as the human interface. Well, that's what I call it anyway. Now, this is touchscreen, okay? But once you're moving along, you can't operate that via the touchscreen, but through the human interface. Now, I'm not encouraging you to do so because you need as little distractions as possible when driving. But if you need to answer the phone, make a call, set your sat nav, music stations, go into the apps, you can do it using this. Now, if I start here to the left, apps page, boring stuff really, not boring for some. Fuel economy monitor, I'll probably look at that when I think I'm going to be running out of fuel, see how many miles I've got left. It'll also give you an illustration of iStop. So at the minute, iStop isn't ready. Yeah, that's maybe because the engine's not warm, or the battery's not at its fullest charge, or the air conditioning's on, there's too much load on the engine, because then it will use more energy starting the car up again. Okay. Back. You can upgrade this to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so they come as a pair. So you'd get that there, and then you can screen mirror your phone onto the screen there. Okay. Music. You got DAB radio, which is fantastic because I know a lot of FM channels are shutting down. I think it wasn't Heart, but one of those London channels I think was switching off FM. There's something for everyone on there. Really wonderful. And you can get LBC all around the country, which is something I really enjoy. You got Bluetooth, so once your phone's paired up, you can use your phone to stream music, and you can stream from the 2 USBs as well. Aha and Stitcher are apps on your phone. I've never really used them for music. And then communication, once the phone's paired up, you can pair multiple phones. You'll get your call lists, missed calls, dial calls, etc. If you've got an Android phone, it will also notify you of a text message and read it to you. All right. Sat nav, it's got a very comprehensive sat nav, but if you do have the CarPlay Android Auto fitted, you can obviously use alternative maps, the different apps on your phone. Find address, town or postcode. Off you go. All right, and then it'll tell you, how long it will take to get there, etc. And you can alter things. I once drove from the south coast back here to Orpington, and I opted for the shortest route, which wasn't the motorways. Took me down some roads I'd never imagined existed, and some roads were questionable to whether they were roads or not. So it gave me a nice sort of scenic journey home. And also, when you're en route and you want to find a place of interest, so I'm often hungry and I'm always running out of fuel, you can search around here fuel stations. All right, the direction and the distance. Okay, you can set up a Wi-Fi hotspot from your phone, so the car's connected to the internet, and when that information comes up, it'll also tell you the price of fuel at those petrol stations. It'll also give you live traffic updates, weather reports, etc. Now, we're 12 and a half minutes into the video, and you're probably getting quite bored, so I'll try to wrap things up. The last page here, so remember I said about the display, you can adjust the height, so you can adjust the height there. Okay, you can you've got display settings, turn display off, safety settings, you've got smart city brake support. So there's a camera here if you get too close to a car in front. In fact, on my way over here, I got quite close to a traffic island, and it comes up, I think it came up on here, brake, so it gives you a warning. But if you're doing under 20 miles an hour or 19 miles an hour, you get too close to an object in front, boom, the brakes will be applied. Lane departure warning, I've explained. You can put a speed limit warning, and you can turn the parking sensors off. So yeah, all great stuff in there. You can't, I mean, safety, yeah, I sometimes get fed up with the amount of safety features on a car, but I think they're pretty good and they're not too intrusive. And if they annoy you, you can always turn them off. The BOSE Sound System, you can adjust all the little fine-tune the sound here. Okay. Clock is GPS synced, and then so it means you don't have to ever relearn how to set the time. And these are some very nice convenience features. So, for example, the walk-away locks on. So when I walk away with the key on my person, car will detect I've walked away with the key and lock itself, which is marvellous. Never forget to do that. Lighting. Adaptive lighting. So it's got LED lights, and they turn as you turn, and they're wonderful. When you drive down a country lane with them, you don't want to drive any other, the older cars with the older traditional lights. Coming home lights, so when you lock the car will stay on, the lights will stay on for 30 seconds, so you can get in the front door when you're leaving home as well. Okay, you can adjust the sensitivity for the auto headlights. All right, okay, so any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If there's any more specific videos or photos, please don't hesitate to ask. We'll happily send them along. Cool, I'm misting up in here. Let's get the air conditioning on. Part exchange is extremely welcome. If you have a look on our website, you'll see that we often sell non-Mazda cars used, because we've cherry-picked the nice part exchanges. So don't think, oh, I might not get the price that I want because I don't have a Mazda. give us a go. You may be surprised. The car will come with a 12-month Mazda ZZ Plus warranty with 12 months roadside assistance and an MOT insurance for 12 months. So should your car fail its next MOT, there are certain things that will be covered. Okay. And also, I just want to remind you, please, you know, if you are looking, and a lot of people are looking outside normal business hours, make the inquiry. You can even try calling. Leave a message if you don't get through, and you'll be surprised. We may come back to you quicker than you'd expect. So thank you very much for watching the video, and we look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.